When humanity multiplied across the ancient Earth, a specific demographic shift occurred. The historical record describes the sons of God marrying the daughters of men. This union produced an anomaly in the human lineage: giants, the mighty men of old. These men of renown brought a new physical and societal dominance that took absolute hold over the entire early population. Under their influence, the social fabric decayed. The earth filled with pervasive violence, and human imagination reached a point where every thought was directed toward evil continually. With all flesh having corrupted its way, the earth was no longer fulfilling its original purpose. The pervasive decay had reached a threshold where the existing order was effectively broken beyond repair. The Creator's response to this breakdown was highly specific. The text notes that God was grieved at his heart, a reaction of profound sorrow over a ruined design, rather than simple reactive anger. That sorrow materialized into a legislative decree. The destruction would be comprehensive, targeting man and beast, every creeping thing, and the fowls of the air. The impending flood would serve as a mechanism of total uncreation. By returning the earth to a chaotic, watery state, the divine decree set the stakes for all terrestrial life back to the 0 point. Against this backdrop of global decay, a single micro-exception existed. Out of the entire human population, a man named Noah was identified as a just man and perfect in his generations. The record notes that Noah walked with God. In an era of moral collapse, this points to a rare, uncompromising alignment with divine will. Because Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord, God established a sacred covenant with him. This was a binding promise of survival, issued strictly on the basis of Noah's character. This created a singular bottleneck in history. The presence of one man's righteousness became a requirement for the continuity of the human race. To execute this survival plan, Noah was given a specific, divinely engineered blueprint. The ark was designed from the ground up for preservation against a global cataclysm. The material requirements were precise. The hull had to be constructed of gopher wood, and it required the careful application of pitch on both the inside and the outside to ensure complete waterproofing. This blueprint called for a vessel measuring exactly 300 cubits long, 50 cubits wide, and 30 cubits high. Inside, the plan mandated internal compartmentalization, lower, second, and third stories, a carefully positioned side door, and a top window. The structural design supported a staggering logistical mandate. Noah had to gather and house pairs of every living species, male and female, along with hoarding massive quantities of food for prolonged survival. The resulting vessel was a highly specialized micro-ecosystem. It was mathematically and structurally engineered to isolate a fragile remnant of biological life from the cataclysmic pressures outside its walls. Faced with these engineering and logistical demands, Noah initiated the project. His response was defined by a steady, unwavering execution of the instructions provided to him. The text points out a crucial detail. Noah did exactly according to all that God commanded him. Surviving a global cataclysm required precision, leaving no room for human deviation. Eventually, the promised deluge arrived. The waters rose, erasing corrupted life and sweeping away the societies that had dominated the landscape. A contrast emerged on the flooded earth. Outside the timber walls, there was chaotic, uncontrolled destruction. Inside the microenvironment of the ark, there was ordered, precise preservation. In the immediate aftermath, the ark functioned exactly as designed. It served as a shield for Noah, his family, and the biological seed of the animal kingdom. Looking back, the deluge stands as an event defined by duality. It was a devastating act driven by divine grief, paired with a meticulously planned mechanism of grace. By following the blueprint to the letter, Noah navigated the collapse of his world. The antediluvian narrative demonstrates how singular obedience and alignment with instructions can preserve life and ensure the continuity of humanity through global catastrophe.